John does not like spiders.
Or We're live.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blood on the Bayou, the Vampire the Masquerade chronicle we are running here on Final Show Films. My name is Julia, and I will be your storyteller for the evening. We will start our introductions today with Katie.
Hi, my name is Katie. I play Mercy Ransom, the Toreador Primogen and tour guide.
And Shawnee.
I am Shawnee, and I'm playing Guava Vincente, the Asamite sorceress who is staring down the devil. Well, the god. She is the devil.
And Drevian.
Drevian Alexander, I'm playing Simon DeLuca, the Malkavian tailor.
And Austin.
Hi, I'm Austin. I'm playing Rahab Graber, and I'm here to drink cucumber water and True Faith of Bilebog, and I just finished my cucumber water, so...
Yes!
I'm out of pacifism. And my cucumber water's gone.
I'm glad that
the pacifism lasts only as long as the cucumber water.
I thought we established that last week.
My God. And Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Catriona, lawyer and necromancer from Clan Giovanni, who is far away from where any Methuselahs might be killing things right now. So she's probably okay-ish.
Yes,
I think an arm.
She's currently walking back single-handedly to the group.
Yep. Well put. I'm not even going to ding that pun.
Brilliant.
All right. So previously, our group met and went on a little bit of a tangent trying to figure out exactly... The tangent might not be the best word. They were putting together a battle plan, at which point they contacted Destiny, made sure everything was all set, and after the group gathered and had a small meeting with a Krispy Kreme box full of blood bags, they gathered at ground zero of the fight. A number of things happened, including a volley of fireballs, a rather short gangrel running around with a claymore and a gun in the other hand, a lot of fire, a lot of gunfire, and let's see, there was some vandalism. There was leading of the homeless to different areas by Rahab. There has been a lot of vehicular manslaughter due to Mercy. Simon, being the ever-vigilant scout, has figured out exactly where he can and cannot communicate to the other members of this assault. Kat has taken it upon herself to hunt down a crow, which had been seen flying as soon as the two warehouses, as soon as two of the main warehouses got attacked. With a few attempts from our coterie members to stop said crow, Kat liberated Guire's motorcycle to chase down the crow, who ended up being Glory. After a bit of talking and calming Glory down just a bit, Kat convinced her that it was probably for the better not to go and kill the prince tonight. Although Jeremy, the player, definitely wants that to happen.
And then reverse course, yes.
And Kat also lost an arm in that altercation, not due to any sort of fighting. It was definitely planned.
So perhaps miscalculated.
Yes.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It still potentially has value because that's how I explain that she got away.
Mm-hmm.
And last but certainly not least, Guire made a number of kills in the assault against the Sabbat and is currently toe-to-toe and flame-to-flame against Bilebog in the center of the street. A whirlwind of fangs, claws, and steel. Our camera tonight opens on the Museum of Art. In a smaller room sit two figures. A third lying on a couch. Simone looks over at the other individual in the room. So, I have to ask, exactly what was your whole plan here? Everything is on fire, essentially. So where do you go from here? Who do you kill? And whose problem do you make it? The other individual runs her fingers down her braid. Well, I gotta tell you, honestly, I really think you need to die tonight, but let's see, with the Justicars coming in 3 days, yes, everyone knows your plans. I'm sorry, 2 days now. Then I feel things would run a lot smoother for myself and my entourage if you were still alive. Gloria says as she lifts herself up onto a table opposite the desk. Besides, you've lost so many things in this fight already. I do legitimately apologize for Marquez injuring poor Charlotte over there. I know how fond you are of her. Now, we both have our titles, we both have our offices. You're Prince, I'm Archbishop. It's fine. But I'm going to tell you one thing, Simone. Just one. If you try to interfere with anything else I do, I will make sure you, your pet, and your special little project burn to the ground. And I'm not talking regular fire. I'm talking hellfire. So, deal with Bilobog. They're going to. I know they will. But you keep those brats' noses out of my business. Simone takes a deep breath. I advise it best if you get the hell out of my sight. I am not necessarily prone to keeping my temper. So, it is time for you to leave. I appreciate you telling me what you have of the conflict and you being so candid. But you've overstayed. Gloria simply holds her hands up, slides down from the table. All right. I know when I'm not wanted. But just know I'm not ready to stop. And I will kill any one of them if they get in my way. And I just want to say, good luck to the Justicars.
Pill, pill, pill.
Hold on just a second.
Gonna play out great.
I mean, no one's dead
Yet.
in that room.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that's even
vampires.
more concerning to me than if there were.
You and your political aspirations. Can't people just get along?
No,
Sorry about that.
tried
You're
that.
good.
Doesn't work.
So as Glory finishes her message to Simone, she grabs something from the corner by the door and tosses an arm at Simone's feet.
She brought it in with her.
Just a little message that I have no problems squashing the 5 little bugs you have running around. Toodles. And she will exit out the door.
Insert.
Look, the
Ralph.
lawyer's arm is not that big of a deal.
First of all, hey. Second of all, insert Ralph Wiggum gif with cat's head photoshopped on top. I'm helping.
Simone
Like,
sighs.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to impress us, like ripping off the non-combatant's arm is not the highest bar.
Yeah, I've killed. Nobody knows about that, but
I didn't say non-murderer. I said non-combatant.
Simone takes a deep breath and leans back against the desk. And a voice from the couch pipes up for the first time in a minute. What a bitch. And our camera shifts back.
I love her.
Our camera shifts back to, quite frankly, utter chaos. But organized chaos.
Yes, definitely organized. We have a plan and we're very organized. There's so much organization going on here.
Yep. You had a plan. It just sort of went a ton of different ways. So,
To be fair, the plan was chaos.
It's
The
a
plan was light it on
multifaceted
fire
plan.
and slaughter everything that runs.
Yeah, it seems like the plan has gone pretty.
I was gonna say,
Pretty good on
the
the
plan's
plan.
doing pretty good so far, about as good as you could expect it to be.
The plan
So-
has not gone awry.
Kat,
mhm.
you are currently walking back to the scene of not genocide, but a massacre.
Yep.
I have to ask, are you going directly back, or are you finding somewhere safe to lay low to the end?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm walking back. I feel like whatever happens is gonna happen by the time I get back there. So I'm not loitering. Because I'm loitering, that's another thing that I have to cover for.
All right. So, Mercy,
Yes.
are you still continuing the
Bowling for people?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a Dex and Drive difficulty 6. Let's see how many targets you take out.
I am going to, while that's being rolled, I am going to clumsily, with one arm, send a text message of bitch got away. Ow. Send.
Sounds
Fair
like
enough.
emoji.
But just the one.
Guire can't really text while she's dueling a Methuselah.
Dex in
Drive.
drive. Difficulty
6.
6.
Don't text and drive, you might hit somebody.
That's the goal.
Don't text and drive, you might miss somebody.
Don't text and drive, you might hit a wall.
instead of a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roadkill, snake.
I love it. There are another 2 bodies that bounce off your car as you go around, way faster for these alleys than they were ever meant to be driven.
Yeah. I believe in my car.
Simon, what are you doing?
What Simon does best, paying attention to the surroundings.
Okay, go ahead and give me another one of your perception rolls.
Simon is the one who watches.
Simon
Yeah.
is the watcher.
Jesus
Oh my god.
Christ.
Holy smokes.
Did
I mean, yeah,
ever
when you have enough, when you
assign-
have enough aspects to reduce it to diff 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never assigned a specialty to alertness either.
that's the
For
thing you
that
might
10.
want to do.
Yeah.
The discipline
Alert,
doesn't get a
the
specialty.
skill,
No,
the
my
skill
alertness
alertness.
skill.
This oh yes.
That's freaking impressive.
If a specialty applies, then that becomes a 9.
So
I don't think the difference matters.
Probably not.
from outside of the barrier of silence, it seems like nothing has changed. There is the occasional scream you will hear, which is silenced abruptly.
Plunk.
Which is disconcerting, but you also know what Mercy's doing right now. And from within, from what you can see, while all of the chaos is going on, Simon just sort of, it's a beautiful mind moment. All of the people on your side are figured out in your head, and all of the enemies figured out, and you guys are winning by a fairly wide margin at this point. And things are looking good. It's just one
Fantastic.
very big problem, which is currently fighting your Asimite.
Yep. Everything's going good as long as this stays to our side.
Rahab.
So I'm around the back entrance. I'm going to go ahead and go into the building because I'm not going to sit here and just wait for the thing.
How what's the effect of the Ravnos's sphere? Is it completely dead silent inside, or is it just there's the sound can't pass between outside the barrier?
How does quietus work?
Quietus generally deadens everything.
It's dead silent inside.
Yeah.
Your
At which point it'll be hard to true faith because they have to hear you.
I don't think they have to hear me because I can just present a symbol. I don't have to say anything. I typically do. But true face only requires me to express my face. I don't have to, like, I could, if I was mute, I could still true faith.
Fascinating.
God is not limited to words.
Faith is not limited to words.
by brandishing a holy symbol or uttering prayers.
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough. They can either see it or hear it at that point. Yeah.
So, I will mention that the warehouse is currently on fire.
You mean roll a courage check?
Yes, I doubt you'll fail, but yes.
Cool. May as well. I'm full will, so I may as well spend a will on this too.
I don't know if you can spend a willpower on this. I think you can spend willpower if you fail to resist the effects. I may be wrong about that. Though.
No, I believe that is correct.
Okay.
If you fail, you can spend willpower to maintain control for a round until you get to roll again. Yeah.
Okay.
But you didn't fail. You got very close, but
Yeah, I rolled a lot of ones.
but there are 3 successes and only 2 ones.
Yep, it is a. There's very much like a stop and like steel yourself moment, but you are able to work through it and get into the building.
All right.
There are about 10 individuals in here who are just screaming and okay, blue light filter, didn't need you at all. Individuals who are just screaming and attacking each other, and it is, you thought it was chaos outside. There is blood and teeth and claw everywhere in this room.
I will walk to the far side of that group and look, there's a lot of ways you can die. This is probably one of the worst. I'm going to get on the opposite side of them from the exit and hold up my cross to try to get them to run out of the building.
Okay.
If they're going to die, they could at least not die ripping each other apart in a fire.
Okay, go ahead and roll your true faith.
I'm assuming none of them have more than 8 willpower. Okay.
Yeah. So as you hold up that, is it your cross or your Bible that you're holding up?
Right now it's the cross because we're in a burning building and a paper Bible.
Just start waving a burning book at them.
Like,
Really
you-
strike fear.
I mean,
Go on.
it would be pretty funny if, like, haha, holding up the Bible and then it catches fire and your burns are like, shit.
On the flip side, if I nail that courage check and continue holding it as it's on fire, then it's
True.
even.
Very true.
So as all 4 foot of Rahab walks through holding up this cross that's just glowing a bright yellow light, there would be hissing and screaming, but
There already is, I'm sure, and we just can't hear it.
well, yes, there is. You just can't hear it. The 10 individuals in here pour out of the front door as fast as they can, leaving you alone in this warehouse. A number of bodies on the ground, eviscerated and drained of blood, or piles of ash just about.
That disturbs me more than the fire, but I will say a quick prayer for the fallen Sabaton here before carrying on, because I don't think Bilobog is going to be hard to see.
No, actually, looking out the front door, you can see, this is when you make, this is your first sighting of the fight happening. As you look out the open door, a gout of flame just pours out of Bilobog's mouth as Guire does a Texas 2-step out of the way, just barely missing the flames as they go around. Which brings us to you, Guire.
Yep. So I remember exactly how my plans were going. I am putting one more. I am pumping 3 more blood. I'm using 1 more to bump my strength. I am boosting my dexterity to 10. And I'm spending my last one to activate my celerity for the turn.
Okay.
And I am taking 3 attacks, one of which will probably be a grab, depending on how this goes.
I was gonna say, how's your blood pool looking?
I'm getting kind of low.
Diablerize Bilobog.
No,
That sounds like the worst plan.
no, definitely do not do that.
I might legitimately combat drink Bilobog to refresh my stores, but I'm not Diablerizing that thing.
I feel like the bigger problem is if you get Methuselah blood in your mouth, that's gonna be some frenzy shit and not like low difficulty.
Oh my god.
But we're going for murder at this point, please.
Yes, at this point, we've definitely not been going for murder. The rest of this game, it is only now that we're going for murder at this point.
Finally.
I would like to claim 8 successes on that attack.
Okay.
My strength is currently at 9. So 11 plus 5, 11 plus 7. I have 18 dice on this to deal damage. That's 12 successes because there's a 1 in there.
Okay.
That's 12 aggravated damage.
Ah.
I have 1 more aggravated swing with my sword before I have to resort to biting him to deal aggravated damage.
Okay, so 10 aggravated. Okie dokie.
Second swing. 7 successes, so that's 1 less die. That is 6 aggravated damage.
He will take 1.
Damn. And then the last thing that I need to do, because I'm no longer dealing aggravated damage with my sword, is get into a clinch. Because I have to clinch before I can bite.
Mm-hmm. Which is your Dex and Brawl difficulty 7, correct?
I need to double check the close combat maneuvers, but I believe so. Combat maneuvers. Let's see, yeah, bite requires you to either clinch, hold, or tackle them first. And I believe clinch is the one that I want because I believe it's the one that can also deal damage and stop them from fighting me. Yeah, dexterity brawl, normal difficulty.
Okay, so 6.
I'll just use my chomp die. Because blood's going to be in a minute anyway. 2 successes. I have him in a clinch.
Okay.
On a successful attack roll, the attacker goes into a clinch with the target. In the first turn, the attacker may roll strength damage. In each subsequent turn, combatants act on their orders in the initiative. A combatant can inflict strength damage automatically or attempt to escape the clinch. No other actions are allowed until one combatant breaks free. To escape a clinch, make a resisted strength brawl roll against the opponent. If the escaping character has more successes, they break free. If not, the character continues to grapple on the next turn. So I'm going to roll my 10 dice of damage, or 9 dice of damage, because it's just strength. Oh, sorry, it's strength plus 1 damage. So yeah, 10 dice of damage. Although, do I get an extra damage for extra success on a clinch?
I think so.
Okay, so that'll be 11 dice then. That's 3 damage, but that's all bashing, so you can soak it fully normally.
Yeah, he soak it.
Yeah, I figured. That wasn't the important part. The important part was that after slicing twice and the magic and the blade dying down, she just sort of flips around his shoulders and wraps her arms basically in a full Nelson around his shoulders and his wings, just to get him close enough to try and bite in future rounds.
How much bigger is this thing than you are?
Probably a lot, but my strength is almost as high as it can go right now.
Like at least 3.5 feet taller.
Yeah.
So Guire does have him clinched. She's just off the ground.
Yeah. The goal wasn't to hold him in place. It was to hold myself close enough to bite him.
Okay. So, Biolog is going to make a contested roll to see if he can break out of this.
Contested strength roll. All right, let's go. Roll strength and roll. Difficulty 6. I have 5 successes.
He did not break out.
Excellent.
So, in a fit of rage, when you know there should be screaming, there is silence, and there's just thrashing and flailing as Bilobog is trying to remove you from his back, but to no avail. So, Mercy,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Bowling.
You're just going to continue to bowl.
Yes.
The thing you are noticing is that the number of individuals who are running into the alleys have started to slow down.
Okay.
So
So I find new territory.
you can widen your search if you would like, or circle in closer, whichever you decide.
Circle in closer, like to the fighting.
Yes.
I'll go in closer.
Okay.
More targets.
So go ahead and give me your drive roll again. Your roadkill.
I will feel.
Three successes. With that, you have 4 more individuals who you hit with your car.
Yay!
There are a few who you see in your rearview mirror get back up and keep running, and there are a few very much that you hear some noises that in your mind affirms they are not standing back up.
Yay! 6.
Simon,
Just
as you're watching and you're analyzing and you're counting, as everything's sort of correlating into one crystallizing thought, your eye catches Guire and Bilobog. And you see the multiple gashes taken out of Bilobog's chest. An open heart not beating shows through the white, pale skin, a black and dead organ. A look of... It is very hard to determine facial expressions on something which has no eyes or nose, but you're kind of getting anger, not only anger from its thrashing and its movements, but desperation. So do with that what you will.
first thing Simon's gonna do is question where Azra is. And then continues watching and listening to see if like anyone's escaped where people are potentially getting out of like the sound dampening area.
So there is, I mean, you take your steps back into that area and you do hear several voices screaming into the night.
Are they being cut off?
No.
And then, okay. Simon will text Destiny, point like over like 2 alleys that way. There's screaming, and then like kind of just directing where the screams are kind of coming from.
And he will step beyond that barrier, dragging 2 individuals, and just start explaining where to start firing sniper rounds if anybody gets out.
Noticing a sniper, Simon will point You can see it. You can see the monster's heart. We'll also point that out to them if they're capable of seeing it from this distance.
Good to know. Thank you. Kat, are you making any other phone calls or sending any other text messages on your way back to the group?
I mean, I'm assuming they're all either in the process of fighting or Kansas songs at this point.
A little bit.
So no, Kat's just gonna keep walking. At some point, will like walk into like a convenience store, walk up to the register. Yeah, two pack of Marlboro Reds, please. Like arm off.
Oh my God.
Although to be fair, it is covered up because I did take my jacket off.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
like,
put
yeah,
it back
fair.
on.
The worst of the gore is
Yes. I'm just covered on like this side of my body with like blood from top to bottom. Thank you.
Yeah,
Pack of Marlboros.
he doesn't even like. He just sets it down and slides it over to you and like walks away.
This is it's New Orleans and Mardi Gras. This is probably not the weirdest thing that he's
No.
seen tonight.
No,
Not to ask questions.
yep, there's certain people you just give the cigarettes to and let them walk away.
Yep. And then casually make my way out and continue down the street.
Okay. Rahab, are you exiting further from the warehouse you are currently in, or are you staying in your safe space?
I didn't come here to be safe.
Makes one of us.
Makes two of us. Guire definitely did not come here to be safe either.
That is fair.
Considering she's currently like in a full Nelson on Methuselah's shoulders.
Question about True Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Guire is definitely not looking down at this thing, right? Like he's on top of it. So if someone was to walk up to the Bilabog from behind and jab, let's say, across into its back, would that affect Guire?
I mean, I can't hear it and I can't see it at that point.
And like I would not be channeling True Face in the sense of like everything run away. This is there's an evil that needs to be purged. This is the evil that needs to be purged specifically.
Is this like holy water on the demon type?
Kind of, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It is the mode of True Faith that Rahab has not used yet.
What's your true faith rating?
2.
Okay.
I have 2 faith points.
Mm.
Pardon.
Yes.
It's the if the cross Bible or holy symbol is placed against a vampire's body, each success causes aggravated levels of damage. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that is fine.
So I could do that and not affect Guire. Well, I don't have a whole lot of things I can do. And
Shank the Methuselah.
look, I am just going to have faith that God is going to enact whatever retribution on this thing needs to be enacted on this thing. But I can no longer sit idly by. that as an option went away a while ago.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your true faith for me. Okay.
Oh. It had to fail sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hit and a miss, possibly.
I mean, depending on what its willpower is.
Well, I don't know how the true faith works as an attack, honestly.
I believe it still goes against their willpower.
Current willpower points.
Yeah.
Oh, current willpower. Oh, if it's been burning that.
Each success causes an aggravated health level of damage.
So that is 1 aggravated damage, which let's see if he soaks.
It's not a ton, but it's something. At the very least, I might give the Bilobog something else to look at. I did mention last session, by the way, I dumped a whole bunch of points into blood, right?
Yes.
Or a bunch of blood into Dex. Maybe some stamina. Stamina sounds like a good idea right now.
That's fair.
How much can I dump in a turn?
In your generation, 1.
Okay.
The only reason I'm able to dump 3 is because I'm 8th generation.
Yeah.
So what happens is do you place this like wholesale flat against him or jab it into him? How do you?
I've been holding it up the whole time, and I see this thing, and I see Dwyer going in for the fight, and Rahab's a lot of things. She's not a coward. She's going in there. She's going for it.
Okay. So as you press this thing to Bilobog's flesh, there's a sizzle and the smell of cooked meat that hits your nose amidst all of the fire.
A special kind of fire.
Yes. As Bilobog thrashes to turn. And as he does so, he is stopped. As beside you, a body becomes visible with a fist straight to Bilobog's head. As Azra materializes from nothing. Bilobog's head cracks backwards. The sound of a few bones splintering as Azra lands 3-point landing and looks up at the two of you. And then makes eye contact with Rahab. Good job. Congratulations for defending. Now move.
Dead silent. Mouths those
Her
words.
mouth moves.
He mouths those words and pulls out a pair of knives.
It's fine. She's also not looking up at Rahab at all. Yeah, no. Rahab will back off, still holding up the symbol, and is just going to see what the Bilobog does.
Okay, so Azra is going to go in with her knives.
Oh, did that thing seem to take any actual damage?
Yes,
From the cross. Okay,
aggravated.
Okay,
as he failed every single one of his freaking soak rolls.
Yay! I'm helping.
As you see Azra just turn into a whirlwind of blade and blood as she strikes almost more times than you can count, landing opposite of Bilobog, knives out and then brought back in front of her face.
She's got more celerity than I do. By a bit.
Dwyer, you feel the muscles slacken under your touch. And
Is he weakening or is he down?
Weakening.
Okay.
Bilobog's gait spreads a little further as it bends its knees a little to stay upright.
I just sort of like, with both hands, just sort of grab by the neck and like snap it to the left as if trying to break his neck. But as she does so, she just sort of spends 2 more blood, putting her at 2 remaining blood. As she brings her strength up to 10, and bites for damage, not for draining blood, but for damage.
Okay.
And uses the second one for her celerity, so she can do this several times.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Nom 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 nom. Just eating a bilobog, like you do.
And the bite has an accuracy of +1, so I get a bonus die on this roll.
Okay.
That's 11 successes.
Sweet damn. Okay, go ahead and roll it.
That's going to be my strength +1, which is 10, which is 11, plus an extra 10. So 21 dice.
Oh my god.
8 damage. No, sorry, 10 damage with those ones. This is all aggravated.
Shawnee, I have a very important question to ask you.
Yes.
How would you like to do this?
Yes.
I have another important question. What demon did you make a deal with for your die rolling? And who can I talk to? Because I feel like it's a similar demon to the one that cursed me years ago, and maybe they can counteract each other. Because holy shit!
Johnny. That is fucking impressive.
15 dice.
10 successes.
10 successes. No ones. Like,
I don't know.
the statistical odds of that.
I don't know who at Roll20 you're having fun times with, Shawnee, but you might want to share with the rest of us.
His physical dice do this too. I've been playing with him for years. It is
Like,
ridiculous.
what the actual fuck?
He crits on disadvantage regularly.
Like, for a guy who once rolled 10 dice and got a quadruple botch, I want to know, like, I'm sorry, quintuple botch. It was 5, not 4. 5 ones, nothing above a 6.
So half the dice you rolled.
Half of the dice I rolled were ones, and nothing, I should point out, was above a 4.
I once rolled a d20 100 times, and I think the average was like 15.
What the fuck?
So,
But
Guire, or Shawnee, please describe how Guire finished.
Guire's like muscles are bulging at this point, with blood poured into strength 10. She has probably grown like several inches just from sheer density of muscle mass that has been enhanced by her abilities. And as she sinks her teeth into Bilobog's neck and just sort of pulls with her shoulders, both of her arms also start to yank on the incision where her teeth make, and she just sinks both of her hands into the hole and wrenches until Bilobog's head comes free from his shoulders.
So as you sink your teeth in and make your wound, there's that sickening noise as all of the quietus just dies. The flames, the perfect backdrop to the ripping and tearing as muscle and bone are separated. And as the head falls with a sickening thud. The wind carries away Ash as you land from your position of about 3 feet off the ground.
And ever the dramatist, Guire lands, her sword picked up off the ground, spins it, sheaths it into the cane, and just stamps it in front of her.
I should point out, by the way, that was actually 10 damage because that was damage and ones don't take away from successes.
Yeah. She just stamps the cane into the ash and the dirt and the fire around her.
And the thing that you notice is, amidst all of the burning and the sound, there are no bullets flying anymore. There's no screaming. There's just the sound of burning and the occasional thud from a car. And there is a soft thud as a body lands beside you and stands up. Well, I honestly don't think that could have gone any better than it did.
That's a second Methuselah that I've brought out of this world, then.
Rahab will kneel by the pile of ash and begin praying quietly in German.
I go pull up in my hearse.
Simon's gonna listen for the fire sirens.
We will want to get the majority of you will want to get the fuck out of here. The rest of you, I will need anybody who's skilled in the mind tricks of the Ventru. Please accompany me, as we have a few individuals we will need to quiet down, and we will need to prevent from showing up whatsoever, because those warehouses got to burn to the ground.
Sounds good. I need a fucking drink.
I'll give you a ride and I'll buy your first round.
Destiny, when you say mind tricks of the Ventru, what does that mean?
I believe he's referring to dominate. You're awe-inspiring. Probably won't be as helpful for convincing people that nothing's happening.
Okay.
So really, we need Cat, but where the fuck is she?
Cat went after the crow that fled at the beginning.
Across several county lines?
No, the crow took off towards the museum.
She's got my fucking bike.
Hop in. If we spot her, I'll let you, hit her gently with the bumper.
Simon
Don't
shoots.
forget you have a text message.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, there is a text. Simon shoots off a response text. Where's Guire's bike?
Forgot my name.
At the corner of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
With me.
Says for former amnesiac.
Tap, 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 slow typing.
Mercy,
At least it's not a flip phone.
Yeah.
Mercy is going to just in response to Cat's text, like, where the fuck are you? You missed everything.
Bike is stowed. I'm walking back. Hard to ride bike with one arm.
Simon responds back.
Thumbs
That
up.
was difficult, yes.
Rahab will add, wouldn't missing everything be the point, Cat?
That's not Kat that said that. That was me.
Yes. Wouldn't missing everything be the point, right, Kat?
It's gonna come across because it's text, and I don't have to, and she doesn't have to have to keep her face straight. Wasn't intentional. Was just trying to catch the our friend, and then had to walk.
And then it caught
Brownie
you.
face. We'll explain when I get there.
Do you need a ride?
You will get a photograph of the street corner where I am.
All right. Anybody that needs a ride, hop in.
I call Casket.
Your group gets weirder and weirder every time I talk to you guys. Anyway, go get some rest. This was hell. So,
We're drinking tonight.
as you should. All right, get out of here.
Don't have to tell me twice.
And as you are all piling into, as those of you who are piling into the hearse are able to hear Destiny giving out commands of how to start putting the bodies into the warehouse and just general cleanup duty, make sure everybody finds all the shell casings that they used, make it look like nothing happened. He's been around the block once or twice with this before.
The sheriff having to keep the masquerade?
I know, right?
Sounds like an awful job.
So who all is getting in the hearse?
Guire and presumably Azra.
I'm driving. So, yeah.
I have a Vespa. I think everyone else has to get in the hearse.
Okay.
All right, guys, get cozy. Somebody can lay beside the casket if they need to.
I don't think getting cozy is a problem, Guire says as she and Azra just sort of sit in the back seat together.
It's a few minutes of a drive, but eventually you do pull up to see Kat on a bench, just smoking a cigarette.
One sleeve just folded over, like pinned up, like they usually are.
You know those things will kill you, right?
They legitimately will not. Flick.
So,
Get
you need
inside.
a ride, you need a hand, you need both.
It's a one time you get that joke. It's a one time anyone gets that joke, including people who aren't here right now. They don't know it, but you just used it up.
I'm assuming Rahab was keeping up with the hearse.
Yeah.
Unless.
Yeah.
I think we have some special blood back at the art place. It might help with the pain.
Oh, it doesn't hurt that much now. It hurt at the time.
Oh, it hurt at the time.
So how'd it go?
About as well as it could, all things considered.
I mean, you're here, so I'm assuming it went well.
2 Methuselahs down, a whole bunch of Sabat gone.
Simon starts recounting the entire event.
In vivid detail.
Yep.
I went bowling for people.
Sounds like fun.
Your final tally was like 15.
Yes. All the points.
So where is the group headed? Is the group headed to Elysium? Back to Cat's house? Are you going out? What is
Where is blood where we can get drunk?
Probably Elysium.
Elysium?
I gathered a lot of blood last night from questionable sources.
My favorite kind of sources. Let's go.
Also, that's where my bike is. So
All right, heading to
Is
Elysium.
that where it is?
that's where you got off of it, at least.
No, he got off at
Because
the
you
park, I thought.
chased her to the
To a
gardens
park,
around
not
Elysium.
Elysium.
To the park where Elysium is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
the art
okay.
museum's in a park.
In that park,
Okay.
yeah.
Listen, it was last week.
Yeah.
I
So,
just
Kat-
remembered the park.
So, Kat, who was our friend that flew away?
Yes.
And you get
Uh,
you get you
uh,
get 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count, and it rhymes with gory. I'm willing to bet.
I mean,
I know it wasn't our prince. That's
I
all
didn't
know.
get my arm ripped off by an actual bird.
That would have been impressive, though.
If I thought it was an actual bird, I wouldn't have brought it up.
I would give mad respect to that bird.
Given what I've seen this last week, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bird that could do that.
But no, yes, it was Glory. She landed near Elysium. I tried to talk her into choosing the smart choice and leaving. She disagreed.
Sounds about right.
At least she said she disagreed. Who knows? Maybe she disagreed, and then when I was on the ground writhing a bit, not ashamed to say that happened. Maybe she was like, that's a good point. Maybe I should go. But I doubt it. We may or may not be out of Prince. I'm not sure.
One way
Did
to
try to
find
talk her out of that.
She might have ripped your arm off because she agreed with you.
This is also true. So yeah, we will find out if we have a leader in the city.
Who takes the prince's place if the prince dies?
Typically
Whoever
speaking,
fights their way to the bloody top.
exact that one specifically, but also I believe in the order of hierarchy, the seneschal takes over until a new prince is declared.
Typically, yes.
That is correct.
How does a prince get chosen? Is it an election? Is it a bloodbath? Is it political machinations?
All three at once.
All of the above. Different for every city I've ever been in, anyway.
Basically, someone gets to make the claim and doesn't get called on it.
Some cities, the primogen is actually really more powerful than the prince, and they choose the person. Sometimes it's the whoever gets the backing of the most primogen. Sometimes just a really old vampire goes, "Hey, you're prince," and who's going to argue with them? Sometimes somebody kills all of their opposition.
I suppose we wouldn't be without a prince long, considering the Justicars are coming in. They could probably just assign one as well.
Oh, before we decide if we need a new prince or not, why don't we actually go have a drink and find out?
You're the one driving.
I mean, if we go to Elysium, I'm pretty sure we'll know whether we have a prince or not.
That's where I was headed. Backseat drivers.
Simon shoots Destiny a text message asking if, like, the code or the Camarilla of New Orleans has a specific method for electing a new prince.
Just out of curiosity.
Yep.
Are you
That
putting,
was would sound suspicious coming from anybody but Simon.
I was about to say Simon would be.
It still sounds.
It still sounds kind of suspicious, but it
But
still
not
has.
as suspicious.
But yeah, coming from specifically from Simon, it's like there's a question there of like, is that a veiled threat or is that legitimate curiosity?
Or is the prince dead and I need to know something else?
After a few minutes, you will get back a message that says, "What do I need to know?"
Don't know yet. We're heading to Elysium. It just became a topic of conversation because apparently some cities is bloodbath, some have an election. I just wanted to see if you knew if, like, this specific area had a preference.
We don't. Hell, Simone just walked in and became prince.
Thumbs up emoji.
Sounds like a Toreador.
I mean, I would not doubt if some of the most violent and bloody takeovers were from Toreador.
Oh, I would wholeheartedly believe it.
Because y'all are cutthroat bitches.
I just ran over 15 people with my car for fun.
Does Simon notice if the car's running funny now?
It's got a rattle you didn't notice before.
Listen, it adds character, okay?
Can Simon identify the rattle by sound?
Give me, and this is one of those things I love about World of Darkness. Please give me a perception and technology roll.
Perception, technology.
Difficulty 7.
In fairness, Mercy, for a brouhaha that Saturday night.
Well, the night is still young.
I haven't even gotten the good stuff yet.
Does aspects apply to this? Because it's still perception.
Yes.
Okay. Difficulty 7.
It's difficulty 3.
7 successes.
So, listening as you're driving, there's definitely a few loose pieces in there that are knocking around. One of the major things you can hear is there's a belt that's squealing now that was not. So there's going to have to be some parts that are going to need replaced sooner rather than later, but it'll make it through the night at least.
It's okay, I know a guy.
I want to test that code. Being able to read the roll output on Roll20 makes me interested if I can replicate that code just with text.
Simon will point out the belt and loose bits once they get to Elysium and get out.
Okay.
You can. All right, I can write a macro that lets me just put numbers in then.
Nothing I would say I've hit bodies before, but not the first suspicious repair I've ever had to have on this thing. Kind of comes with the territory. All right, let's get drunk.
And as our group makes their way into Elysium for hopefully a nice quiet break, that is where we will take ours. So
Ready.
get up, stretch your legs, get a drink, do whatever you need to. We will be back.
We're back.
Hi, everybody, we're back. So, as our group enters into Elysium, a much more subdued and quiet party than has happened in the past few weeks, a few individuals are sort of flitting about and socializing. Of course, the ever-present form of Charlotte is nowhere to be seen. Alexander is also missing, as he is still wrapped up in completing the mission for what you guys were doing before heading here. He got moved to cleanup crew.
If you don't mind my splitting off, I'm gonna go grab a hefty amount of blood and go meet with the prince. Assuming the
You
prince
do
is still alive.
I mean, shouldn't we all meet with the prince?
I mean, unless you all want to actually take some time to relax and let yourselves down for a second, but sure.
This isn't getting better after after a couple of drinks. So
this is going to sound like a totally ridiculous question. Can I get just like a wine bottle equivalent of blood? Is that a thing?
Can I have the bottle?
Is that a thing? Or is it just like by the pint?
You can get a bottle.
I almost used your actual name for just a second. Guire, what's your poison?
At the moment, I'll take alcoholic.
All right. I'm gonna go grab 2 bottles of alcoholic blood.
There are a number of so the ghouls who have been serving goblets have been pouring out of bottled or out of blood bags. The bottles that they do have are kept in a small warmer so as to prevent coagulation. But there are stickers on each of the stockpiles of blood. There is a red one, a purple one, and a green one.
Go to the bar. It's like, do you mind telling me what those colors mean?
Oh, well, sure, I can. So, the red stickers are regular, normal blood. Nobody's had anything, nobody's done anything. The
Okay.
purple ones are those who have imbibed the alcohol, and the others are any form of recreational activity deemed illegal by most of the United States.
Can I get 2 very large servings of the purple, please?
He will just take 2 of the bottles and set them in front of you.
Much appreciated. On my tab.
Anything else I can get for you tonight?
Maybe later. This will do for now. Much appreciated.
It goes clean, drunk, high.
So I'm gonna go back to the group. I'm gonna hand one to Guire. I did promise.
Thank you. And she'll start walking to the prince's chambers and let whoever feels like follow her.
yeah, I'm following.
Simon will follow along.
I'm
I
following
should probably go.
straight for the ball.
So, you guys knock on the prince's door, or what she has deemed as her room, her door. And she will open it, look at all of you. Please come in. She will open the door, walk over and hop up onto the desk and sit down crisscrossed applesauce with her elbows on her knees and her fingers crossed in front of her. Her hair a wild tangle. Several knots have been put into it. She does not look her normal put together self.
Dwyer sort of steps in, walks across, and sits down next to the couch where Charlotte is.
Yes, for the rest of you who have not been privy to this information, a charred husk of a human being is laying on the couch.
I like what you've done with the place.
Thank you. So I assume since all of you are here, that means you did not. I assume your mission was successful.
That'd be accurate.
You could assume so.
Destiny's cleaning up the potential masquerade dangers as we speak. But there's one more ancient monster that's dust now.
But
Is
I
that
wish-
my arm?
this is the point where most of your attention is now drawn to the just in front of the center of the room where there's an arm sort of haphazardly sat against the leg of the desk Simone is sitting on.
I mean, I realize that probably there have been a lot of arms that went flying tonight, but I recognize that tailoring.
I also recognize the tailoring. I could fix the shirt
And
for you
and
now.
and the nail polishing.
Could that be reattached?
I'm just
It's
gonna.
fine. It'll grow back.
It
just needs to heal.
technically can be reattached, but it can also just grow back.
Would it be easier if we sewed it back on?
I'm just gonna look at Kat, roll my eyes, and just take a long drag out of the bow.
I mean, we don't. So you don't have to. We don't sew it on. You would just put it up, put it in place, and heal.
Rahab, it's like the head of a hydra. You just cut one off, and another one gonna grow back on. Just leave it.
I assume you had a run-in with Glory?
Yeah, I tried to talk her some reason into her, and it didn't go well. And I said perhaps now would not be the appropriate time to try and commit regicide. And
Well, she didn't commit regicide, so
Yeah, she tore your arm off.
yay! No
You got
offense,
through it, right?
Prince.
That helps.
all things
You're
considered,
welcome. I will send you a bill for my shirt.
Simon like steps beside.
You're fucking Giovanni.
Kat.
Just cop
If-
it.
Speaking of bill for the shirt, I could reattach the sleeve.
It's fine. I have other shirts.
Okay.
While this conversation is happening,
wait
Dwyer
a second.
pops the bottle on her drink, has some, turns it over to Charlotte.
Why do you still have your coat arm but not your shirt arm?
Because I took my jacket off in case we ended up fighting, and I had to run away.
Are these really?
This jacket is worth more than you.
Are these really the pertinent conversations?
Overpriced for a jacket
having
doesn't
right
look
now?
that great.
I will happily tell
I mean,
I will happily tell my uncle that you told him that his tailoring is horrible.
Look, I'm just calling it how I see it.
I mean,
If it's worth more than a person, you overpaid for a jacket.
especially
No,
if it's off.
Listen, that it is thoroughly understandable and it is absolutely your prerogative to have that opinion. And if you start hearing drum beats from ghosts in the middle of the night
I'll kill
constantly
them
until
too.
it drives you insane,
She just
Oh.
killed a motherfucking Methuselah, and you're threatening her with ghost drum beats? Get
No.
a life.
First of all, I'm not threatening her. I am warning her there is a difference. And second, you can kill the person who who starts the ritual. It doesn't stop the ghost, and you don't know how to get into the Shadowlands.
I'm sure I could figure it out with enough experimentation. I am, after all, a sorceress.
Not a necromancer. That is a different thing altogether.
Squire, you pull that bottle back and half of it is gone.
She'll lean over and give Charlotte a kiss on the cheek.
Prince, you got a dictionary? I'd like to lobby it at somebody's head.
I'm being reasonable and looking out for Squire.
Oh, so you admit that it's your head I want to lobby?
No.
Simon
I mean,
steps up
yes, because
beside
clearly
Percy.
that's who you would throw it at.
So, I would like to make sure you're aware, Prince. We were very successful on our mission. Our teamwork is the same as it always has been.
Listen, we work fantastically as a team.
We just
We
snipe
are
at each
just-
other afterwards.
We are just vampires, and therefore we snipe at each other.
I mean, I've already gotten 15 people with my car tonight. What's a few more?
I'm not saying that is a particularly relevant portion of vampires' queer metaphor, but it is a very accurate one.
You're not wrong. Simone will lean forward a little bit more and just sort of run her fingers through her rat's nest on her head. Glory visited, as you can see.
I would assume so.
I finally got to talk face to face with the Archbishop. What is this about in the area? She's more than she seems.
I mean, there's no dead bodies, so that must have gone better than we would have hoped.
That's an
This is
archbishop.
true.
The Archbishop is the person in charge of the Sabbat at the local level. Sort of the same thing as the Prince, but on the other side.
Okay.
No little scarier, no offense. Prince.
No, you're right. Because I have a list of checks and balances to keep me in order, and she has herself.
And you don't have unfortunate religious zealotry backing you.
This is true. I do not have Nadists in my wake. At least I don't believe so.
I haven't seen the book getting thrown around at parties, so.
Let that be another thing that I don't have to worry about.
Parties or books?
Book of Nod. The religious scripture
Gotcha.
of most of the Sabbat.
Well, congratulations. We have one last threat to deal with.
I can't help but feel that even if the Archbishop is going strong, her underlings might have a bit of fear struck into them now.
There's a few that are left. I would assume.
Not that many, well, I didn't see any that got out, but I was also very busy dealing with the larger thing.
There didn't seem to be very many from what I could see. And if there were, they're not in great shape.
So, as a Kotari, how do you feel?
I feel like I burnt through most of my reservoir of blood killing in Methuselah and need a lot to restock. And I also feel like I need a portrait made of that fight. But other than that,
I feel like I need to get my car repaired. I also don't know where to go from here, to be honest with you.
She'll sort of cock an eyebrow at that. Simon, what of you?
What sense?
What was that?
In what sense?
Well, how do you feel tonight went? And then how do you feel about moving forward?
Tonight went as planned. Like it seemed like everything went as we thought it would. With maybe the possible exception of I'm blanking on the Archbishop's name now.
Glory.
Glory. With the possible exception of Glory flying off. As for going forward, if you have more tasks for us to do, then I guess we just keep doing them. Otherwise, we go back to the lives we had. Like I go back to the shop, Mercy goes back to tour driving, Rahab goes back to nursing, etc. Until the next time we're needed, our specific talents are needed.
Yeah, I guess the what is next.
That's a good question. Without an active threat, it's hard to tell.
well, I wouldn't say there isn't an active threat. There's still Glory, and there's still the, as I blank on the title of the people coming in.
The
Justicars.
Cars.
There's still the Justicars coming in.
This is true. So I guess
Yes.
but
But there's no
tomorrow
sorry, go
night
ahead.
you have a free night, I suppose.
Justicars are coming in what, night after tomorrow?
Mm.
And if we don't have a plan, we don't know what Glory is going to do next.
Is there anything we can really do about that? I mean, yes, she is a threat, but an active threat?
The fact that she exists, it makes her an active threat. I should technically caveat that as to you all. Guire excluded. Or maybe Guire included. Maybe she's going to hold a grudge because you've killed so many of her toys.
I mean, it's possible. And there's also the fact that even if I'm not affiliated with the Camarilla, the people that I care about are, so.
Adriana, how do you feel tonight went?
My Prince, I'm here to provide whatever you may need. in terms of whatever help you may wish from Clan Giovanni, as my elders have declared it for me. Should that change, I will absolutely let you know. But right now, these about having overstepped their bounds. We're definitely helping.
What do I have?
That's a great question. There's a lot of messed up stuff. I don't know what I can do, but I'm here. If I can make the world a better place, then I'm going to do that.
I'd say taking a monster the size of Bilabog out of the world certainly helped do that tonight.
You helped.
I
Oh, she
poked it.
If you want, Prince, I can give you a full recounting.
No one likes this.
Shall I give it to you now, or do you want to finish the conversation first?
Let us finish this conversation, then we will move to that.
All right.
So you'll have one night of relaxing before they arrive. If I were you, tomorrow I would get with Destiny to see exactly what the plan is on his side of things and where you want to help out. You 5 have helped me in innumerable ways since I brought the 5 of you together.
I still think you made some very interesting choices in bringing this group together.
Yeah, I really have no idea why I'm here.
Because we're all very good at different things.
You know the city. You know its history. You have a touch of chaos in you. And I felt a spark of retribution burning underneath. That is why you are here.
Accurate.
Guayar is here because, well,
I think we all know Guire's here.
we know
She has a
Guayar.
very specific set of skills.
He just raises the bottle and takes another drink.
Guayar is merciless. And I know this. I picked Simon for his attention to details and his peculiar way of thinking of things. I knew Catriona had experience in not only getting rid of bodies due to her clan's proclivities, but as well as any of the laws in the area she would know, or any ways to keep your tracks covered. Rahab, I will have to admit, you have far exceeded my expectations. And
I'm really curious what you did expect.
Water.
Blood supply.
human shield. What I thought you would bring best, from what I knew of you, you have a high conviction to your morals. And you hold your beliefs close to your chest. So if anyone was going to get 4 sociopaths to look at something with a brighter light, it would be you.
Or the 4 sociopaths would corrupt the brighter light?
Either one, we didn't know.
I mean, are you saying that that didn't happen? Because,
Oh no, it definitely did.
okay.
I'm just saying if the intentions were the opposite, then well.
Whatever worked out, worked out. So I don't think I have anything else for all of you. Until the Justicars arrive, at which point you will be keeping an eye out for literally anything that Luri might have planned. It is going to be difficult since we are going to have to try and prepare blind. But I have faith in all of your abilities. So go, enjoy the night. And thank you for everything that you have done. You have saved New Orleans and possibly the whole of the United States.
Happy to help.
I helped and I got something back too.
And this is,
My memories?
yes,
To be fair, you also got the position of the Toreador Primogen.
That too.
I bet your sister is very, very upset about that.
She's grounded herself. It's fine.
I need a drink.
Want some?
I have a harder and longer term evil to, well, the evil's gone, but a harder and longer term problem to fix. So I'm going to go home and check on Anya.
Y'all don't mind, I hang out here for a bit. I have a lot of blood to replenish.
Let me know if she needs anything. I'll be happy to help.
Yeah, Rehab. Rehab. I know that I might not seem like the right person to utilize this in that situation, but if you need any help, let me know. I am not inexperienced in those sorts of matters.
Oh, I'll
Or at
definitely need
least
help.
empathizing in those sorts of matters.
I'll need help, just not sure where yet.
That is absolutely fair.
And she'll nod her head and step out of the room.
Yep.
I am off. I'm finishing my bottle and I'm off to find an all-night mechanic.
Simon waits for everyone else that's going to leave.
You
Fire
took
is gonna
this.
hang
You
out.
might have a contact that you can use.
Wonderful.
Anybody else? I know Guire's staying. Mercy, you're headed off to find a mechanic. Simon's waiting to give a recap. What about Kat? What is Kat doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little. I'm gonna see a little bit here. So as not to be tormenting people. I'm not down a hideous amount, but let's get a couple of blood points to top me off, and then calling a lift. My usual ride just went to go get a mechanic.
I can drop you off first.
No, I'm staying. I'm getting something to drink first.
Gotcha.
And I believe we're far enough away. I'm not just walking tonight. Not after tonight's events.
No,
I wouldn't recommend it.
I also would not recommend it.
So yeah.
Okay. Rahab.
Yep.
Your travel home's fairly uneventful. There's still a lot that has not been cleaned up from Mardi Gras. It's being worked on. The cleanup is usually a 2-day job at least.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So as you make your way back to it's an apartment building, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as you make your way up the stairs to your apartment, you unlock the door and you are assailed by the sound of the TV at max volume.
Simon screeching from the other side of town at the noise.
Yep. Not quite used to that yet, but close my eyes for a moment and step in. Does Anya notice me coming in, or?
If she has noticed, she has not made any movements.
I will wave slightly. Hopefully, that should resolve that business for the foreseeable future.
Do you think that you are going to need to do other things?
Certainly not tonight.
Fair enough. What have I missed?
How's she been mentally lately? I know she's been a little more independent.
How she's been overall. She's still definitely not okay.
No. I know she's not okay.
It's going to take a long time to get better, if she does. But lately she's been smiling more.
Good. Seeing more of her personality come out, I know, with some of the stuff and doing things that she wants to do.
And you have noticed there have been more days with the TV turned off than there have been with the TV on. So she's not using it as often to drown out stuff. It seems like she might be having a bad day. if you had to
Gotcha.
guess. And she is just curled up with her knees to her chest on the couch, leaning against the arm of the couch. Her head propped on her hand as her elbow rests on the armrest of the couch.
I mean, there's been the obvious what's going on and the fighting and the danger. But I don't know. A lot of chance to think about things I haven't had a chance to. Think about people I haven't thought in a while. Think about maybe things are not as simple as they look from the outside.
That's generally true.
Yeah. For a while, it was easier when things were cut and dry, when the right course of action could be decided by a yes or no. But
This might be one of those hot takes, I think is the term. But I don't think the world can work on simple.
no. And
It needs to thrive on complex.
and stop trying to make everything simple enough for me to understand it. I have to be okay with I'm not going to understand some things. I should know that. But
There's a whole spectrum of color. We can't just see the world in black and white.
there's a whole spectrum of colors I can't even perceive in that case. I just have to trust that it's there and have faith that I will do what I think is right at the time. And that things will be okay. Things will be taken care of, and that there's a plan, even if I don't know it. Take one step forward and do what I can do.
Do you want to see the other colors?
What do you mean?
She'll sort of sit up. Do you want to see the world differently? Or do you want to keep it in the black and white that you have grown so accustomed to?
Well, I said earlier, everything happens for a reason and there's a plan. And, well, when bad things happen, things that I assume are bad and seem like they're bad, then I just have to assume that that's part of a plan. And it seems like I have to learn and grow. I can't close myself off to things just because I don't understand them or don't like them. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to start seeing them.
A seed can never be a flower if it doesn't choose to bloom.
Fair. And it's helped getting to know someone who's had troubles as well. I closed myself out to so many other troubles, but yours I could empathize with and I could see, and it's made me realize that as horrible as your troubles have been, I've been so quick to write off others people's just because I didn't understand them. And that was callous at best. So you've definitely been helping me to grow.
And you've been helping me feel more sane as much as that's possible.
Well, I will do everything I can. I can't make any promises about how things will be in the future, but I'll be there for whatever you need. And I'll be there to stand aside when you need to grow on your own. I don't want you to feel cloistered or stifled by my desire to help. I know not long ago that is how I might have handled the situation.
She will pat the couch beside her.
I will sit down.
And she will just sort of wrap her arms around your shoulders, cuddle into you, and watch the TV with you.
All right.
Is there anything else you need to say to her or want to say to her?
I feel like there's been a lot of stuff said, and sometimes you just need to exist.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, that did sound like. Is there anything else you want to say before she suddenly dies? For
Before she
is
combusts.
there anything you wish to say to her? Maybe no, maybe not. And that's when like a razor, like saw razor, like flies through the window and just goes right through her head. Hey, you had your chance.
Right. Any last words?
I don't know. We do know a necromancer. That doesn't have to be the end.
This is true.
No, Rahab still tried to figure out how to interact with her. Like, she's got that weird sort of like, uh, I never had siblings growing up, and I feel this like sisterly protective feeling, and I don't know how to protect somebody from what's inside their own mind. And so I just need to exist.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And both of us have kind of come to terms with we can't go back to our families. So
Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Simone texts Destiny before you leave, and about 5 minutes after you have gotten in your car, set up your radio to start figuring out where you need to go as you're looking through Google for anything that might be open this late, your phone rings.
I pick it up.
Just a second.
This Mercy.
All right. So I heard from the prince that you needed a special job done.
You could say that.
Okay, I got a guy who does not ask questions and fairly cheap. So
Works for me.
I mean, it just means I have to give him an additional stock of blood this month, but that's fine.
I'll give me the address so I can plug it in.
Okay. Can do. I will say he's. You know what? I'll let you find out on your own. Like.
This is New Orleans. I've dealt.
Yeah, that could mean anything.
This is New Orleans. I can deal with this.
So you get a text message about a minute later with an address. And it's only about a 10-minute drive away. Nothing really catches your eye on your way there. Everything, the city looks normal compared to the hellish onslaught you were just part of an hour ago. The city is surprisingly normal and fairly quiet, all things considering. And you pull up to a house with a garage that is currently open. And as you turn off your radio, you hear AC/DC being blared at the top of this radio's capability in this garage.
Well, all right.
As you park and step out, you hear the cocking of a shotgun as a gentleman steps out from around the corner of the garage. Don't know what that was. Oh well. Quiet ghosts. A figure clad in currently just a t-shirt, boxers, and a bathrobe, holding a shotgun and you're assuming half-empty Miller Lite can. So as he walks around the corner and levels the shotgun at you, you got about 3 minutes before I pump you full of lead. Who is you and why you on my property?
My name is Mercy Ransom. I'm a friend of Destiny. He gave me your contact, said you could fix a car without a lot of questions.
You see him sort of think and then pull the shotgun up, scratch his head with the barrel of the shotgun. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right. So, what exactly have you got going on? What can I... He walks over and hands you the shotgun. And
just put it down on the sidewalk or the yard, whatever the.
I don't really do much work on many hearses, but this is nice. I mean, other than all the blood and guts, but you know, how do you get this through town without literally anybody calling the police?
Well, you see, I would say day job, but my job is to I'm a tour guide, a haunted tour guide around the city of New Orleans. So I find it builds character if you do so in a hearse. Good for business.
I see. Okay. Well, I do like your choice of decorating the outside as well as the inside. That being said, it looks like a lot of... Go ahead and pop the hood for me. Let me take a look around at the insides.
Okay, I'll pop the hood.
Takes a step back, downs the rest of whatever's in the can. Yes, I thought that was going to be an issue. All right. When you need a back buy.
How soon can you get it done?
How much you paying?
Name your price.
Oh, sweetie, that's a dangerous game you playing there.
Your monetary price.
Oh, okay. See, that's a little better. Although you still left that bar way too high.
Yeah.
You know
Also
what?
remember that Destiny has promised this person blood.
I know.
Tell you what, you And he'll sort of look at your eyes for a second. He sort of straightens up. Tell you what. Here's what you can do for me. It's going to be about $300 to fix the car.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to walk down to the corner store.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to pick me up 3 cases of I don't care what.
Okay.
And I have it back to you tomorrow evening.
That's more than fair.
Good.
So if I come back with 3 cases of Sunny D, you still do the job, right?
Listen, you can splash words all you want. So
All right.
he holds out a hand for you to shake.
I shake it.
All right. So go ahead and wheel her up to the garage. I will get started.
All right. Oh, this is my livelihood. Don't screw it up.
So I have to ask, how much of the car do you need back?
All of it?
It's always the same answer for that question. All right, I suppose. All right, well, we'll get walking. Corner store's that way. And you successfully hand off your car to whoever this dude is.
To Leroy.
After you come back with whatever you obtained from the corner store, he has most of the engine already out and is starting to undo dents. That bathroom is already covered in grease. No, he did not change out of it.
I didn't expect him to. Thankfully, I'm actually thankful he kept it on. I'm just gonna drop the payment off and well, damn. How far away? I don't know where this is in relation to my place.
You're looking at about a 15-minute Uber ride.
All right, damn it, I'll call an Uber.
So nothing crazy. At least for me, that's like what, a $15 fare.
Yeah, something like that.
It's probably more in New Orleans, especially around Mardi Gras.
That's fair. You're probably looking at $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, search prices are a thing.
Your Uber driver's great. Doesn't say a word the whole ride.
My favorite kind.
And you greet your home like an old friend. And I assume heading straight for the bed and collapsing.
I'm gonna walk very slowly up the front steps. I'm gonna turn to the side and I'm gonna just finger a few rose petals on my way up the steps and smile and give myself, chuckle to myself and then walk inside the house and go to bed.
Cat,
Mm-hmm.
you arrive home. Nothing out of the ordinary. Everything's fine. Everything is as exactly as you left it.
Okay.
What are you doing to fill the rest of your evening? Are you working on your little side project or are you going straight to sleep?
I am going to contact somebody higher in the family give them as complete an update as possible on everything that's going on here. Both in terms of Alabag dead, Justicar is still coming into town on in 2 days. Reached out to Glory, see if we could see if I could establish some relations there. Camarilla obviously not aware. And yet basically just give them the full heads up of everything that's going on so that they're in the know. So that it's harder just to so that should I need to contact I'm not asking for permission after the fact. And B, if something happens, they can then step in and they know who the contact points are. And then after that, yeah, I really haven't had a ton of time to finish up my. Well, I can't do a ton of that until my arm grows back, though.
That is fair.
Like, it is really, really hard to solder goggles onto someone's face if you don't have another arm to steady it with.
Fair.
So I will just go up, make sure to check, make sure that the stake is firmly in place. There have been no, she hasn't managed, doesn't have some ghost who's trying to wiggle the thing free or anything like that. And once I've checked on her, made sure everything's secure there, yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy a quiet night in, maybe answer some emails, do some of that day work that technically I do.
Fulfill your cover as a lawyer.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not a cover. Like, that is legitimately part of the job. It's just she hasn't had a chance to establish herself here. She still has, like, bar paperwork to get forged and hacked into place, because I'm certainly not showing up at noon to take that exam.
Right.
But yeah.
So
just a nice, casual, relatively bloodless, free rest of my evening.
The only thing that you notice is that the stake does appear to be slightly raised out a little bit more. So just like a quick hammer smack to that, and then back.
Which is awkward, because I realized I didn't think about this at the time. But when I did the whole thing, just instinctually, I put out my right arm.
Yep.
So I am working with my bad arm. So there are probably several smacks to the body while I'm trying to hammer this thing in.
Bonk, damn it, bonk, blank. There we go.
Elena, I promise, I know that, I promise I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm just bad at hitting things with my off arm.
I'm just picturing like whack-a-mole.
That said, it's not bothering me if this hurts a little.
I'm not trying to do this. I don't care that I'm doing this, but I'm not trying to do it.
And you enjoy a rather peaceful evening, all things considered.
Yes.
Simon, you finish giving your report to the prince. And she just sort of taps her fingers a few times. So, can I ask a professional assessment?
The evening or something more particular?
For the evening. How do you really think tonight went?
it seemed like there was 3 main goals: kill Bylabog, kill Glory, kill as many Sabat as were in the warehouses. 2 of those were achieved. And I think we were probably gunning with Bylabog was the bigger threat, like the more immediate thing that needed to be taken out. So like the big goal was achieved. So
Is it-
overall, like 80% successful.
So this is not a bad number. I'm okay with this number. I am not upset at all about the outcome of tonight.
Like the big concerns are Glory survived, which she's the person in charge of all the Sabat here. And doubly bad because she has your notebook. So she knows your plans. And comments on us.
There have been a few changes from what I wrote down. And Destiny will be able to inform all of you of these. It's very troublesome that she has my notes, but what's done is done. We must do what we can. Hopefully, she has decided that this is no longer her fight, or she has decided that she no longer wishes to pursue this course of action.
There is probably limited that amounts that she can do by herself and with what remaining shovelhead she has.
I suspect she is probably returning to whatever hovel she calls a haven, and is licking her wounds. Metaphorical, of course, but nonetheless, we struck a massive blow to her tonight. All of you did exceptionally well tonight.
The vast majority of it was Guire with that fight.
Wire, who is still in the corner having a drink.
That does not surprise me. She is your main combatant, after all.
Mm-hmm. Azra jumped in, and Rahab also did, so that's pleasant. Like Rahab didn't try to stay out of it.
Maybe she has finally decided that pacifism is not the best answer all the time. I could be wrong. But this is what I get from the events of tonight. How goes the progress on my code?
Simon gives an update from the last time he was at the shop on.
Fantastic. Well, I have no further comments or instructions for you if you wish to enjoy the rest of your night.
All right. Simon goes to start to head out, stops before the door, and comments to Guire, "If you really want a portrait, that can be arranged."
I'll consider it.
And Simon heads out, chats with people in Elysium for a little bit before getting like an Uber back to the shop.
Shortly after the door shuts and Simon has left, Guire wordlessly flicks a wrist, and embedded into the side of the desk is a feather. A single feather that seems to match the bird that Simon would have described Glory taking the form of. This is a wordless offer of contract. She doesn't have to say anything. All she has to do is mark it with her blood if she wants this person dead.
Simone will look you in the eyes, look at Charlotte. She will extend her fangs and just cut open her thumb and let a single drop fall onto the feather. And as it cascades and follows that arc, as it hits the ground with a almost imperceptible plop, there's just this pulse that hits really hard in your chest. And it feels like all of the emotion that she's been bottling up and doing her best, albeit not the greatest, at hiding her emotions and keeping everything in check. You're feeling all of it. And that wordless offer, that contract is sealed. And as you sit there with the knowledge that you will have to take down the Archbishop of the Sabbat in this area, whether it be tonight, tomorrow, or even after the Justicars have their meeting and leave, it has to be done. And with that knowledge and that hanging in the air, that is where we will end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Yes.
Goodbye.